Member for Breitling as Minister for Lands, Planning, Environment, Minister for Corporate and Digital Development and Minister for Water Resources.
Thank you very much, Mr Deputy Speaker. And firstly, I would like to provide my full support to the 2025-26 budget, and I thank the Chief Minister and Treasurer for delivering a budget that restores confidence and rebuilds the territory for Territorians. This is our government's, the Whanokē-Aro CLP government's, very first budget. And it's a budget that puts victims and the community safety first, invests in law and order, and cements our efforts to repair the mess we inherited from the former Labor government. When the former government came into power back in 2016, the Territory's debt was less than $2 billion, Mr Deputy Speaker. Fast forward 8 years, and the former government's fiscal mismanagement, unfunded projects and failures to deliver for Territorians have left us with a projected net debt of close to $14 billion by 28-29. That's more than $1 billion of debt added to the Territory for every year the Labor Party held office. So, Mr Deputy Speaker, I congratulate the Chief Minister and Treasurer for not only delivering a practical, responsible budget, but also a budget that will right those wrongs and set the Territory up for a better path forward. This government is delivering on the 2025 year of action, certainty and security, through budget measures that will rebuild our economy, restore our unique Territory lifestyle, and most importantly, Mr Deputy Speaker, reduce crime. I was born and raised in the Territory. In my hometown of Alice Springs, we have seen very little of the $1 billion per year that the former Labor government spent driving up the Territory's debt. Think about that for a second. $8 billion over 8 years. You would think the streets would be paved with gold, Mr Deputy Speaker, especially in our major centres, but they most certainly are not. They couldn't even lay bitumen on a road correctly, Mr Deputy Speaker, and we had to fix that as well. My hometown of Alice Springs was largely missed out, with many promises made by the former government that were never fulfilled. Our government is ensuring the regions are forgotten no more. I grew up feeling safe in my community and enjoying every opportunity that our amazing Territory lifestyle had to offer. We came into government in 2024 at a time where long-term Territorians were leaving because they no longer felt safe. This was something that I heard from members of my community, Mr Deputy Speaker. It was extraordinarily upsetting. Years of neglect, particularly in Central Australia under the former government, now weak on crime legacy. This is why we announced the largest ever law and order budget in Territory history, $1.5 billion for police, corrections and courts. We've been clear from the very beginning. We will do whatever it takes to keep Territorians safe. This budget has impacted each of the agencies that I'm responsible for, and I would like to take the opportunity to thank the CEOs and officers within each agency for their hard work on the development of the 2025-26 budget. The Department of Corporate and Digital Development is delivering 2 significant ICT projects through the 2025-26 budget, with client agencies NT Police and the Department of Health. These commitments will support our victim-first budget by reinvesting in core services that were neglected for too long under Labor. Funding of $16 million has been provided for the Northern Territory Joint Emergency Services Centre, known as the JESC, Mr Deputy Speaker. This funding will provide critical improvements to the digital services used by the JESC, as well as building works needed to increase operational capacity and modernise the facility. The digital services improvements will provide functionality to reduce manual data entry, improve data quality, implement mobility tools and increase the situational awareness of the JESC. Dispatchers will have better information on the location of units that can respond quicker, and these upgrades will allow the delivery of the 000 SMS service. This, Mr Deputy Speaker, will allow vulnerable people to request urgent assistance where they may not be in a position to make a voice call, particularly important in domestic violence situations. Community safety is our #1 priority, and these digital upgrades will enable police to respond faster and be more equipped to assist the community. These are real actions to reduce crime and keep Territorians safe. On top of that, Mr Deputy Speaker, I want to highlight the budget 2025-26 also provides a further $2 million to boost emergency communications in Central Australia, with a pilot police communication centre in Alice Springs, which will enhance support for police operations in the region. These digital improvements will deliver on our promises to reduce crime and restore our lifestyle by getting first responders there quicker and ensuring that we can save lives. Alice Springs will have its own 000 call centre, and I want to thank the Chief Minister, Leah Finocchiaro, for delivering on this promise. It shows to the people of Alice Springs and to the electorate of Breitling that we matter. I toured the centre just the other day as it was being set up, with testing to occur later this year to ensure it is ready to be integrated into the call operating system. The 2025-26 budget also allocates $12 million over 2 years to the Core Clinical Services Renewal Program, also known as 𝙍𝙀𝙇𝙀𝙑𝘍, to ensure that the safe implementation of this digital health system is in all Territory hospitals. And I know the Minister for Health will be probably speaking about this later as well. The 𝙍𝙀𝙇𝙀𝙍 system was yet another Labor mess left for us to clean up. With budget blowouts on the 𝙍𝙀𝙍𝙍 system, it's left to us to fix it. It's another perfect example of the former government's incompetence and inability to manage Territory funds responsibly. Budget 2025-26 is about fixing the fundamentals to make lasting, impactful changes, not quick fixes or temporary solutions. We can often forget, Mr Deputy Speaker, how much of a pivotal role digital services play when it comes to community safety and security. It's why this government has allocated funding to allow for the completion of the system rollout in all Territory hospitals. It's why we will ensure that no lives are put at risk while the system is re-implemented, because the safety of the community comes first for this government. Mr Deputy Speaker, through partnerships with the Commonwealth Government, we have also secured funding in the 2025-26 budget to continue efforts to improve regional connectivity across the Territory. It provides $4 million for regional roads, Australia Mobile program to pilot new approaches to deliver mobile coverage on regional highways and major roads, as well as $1.9 million for the digital connectivity program in partnership with the Department of Social Services to improve mobile connectivity in regional and remote communities. Again, in the scheme of things, digital connectivity may not be at the forefront of our minds as a necessity, but providing remote residents with a means of contact to their families and friends or an emergency or essential service is crucial and delivers on our promise to restore our wonderful lifestyle and reduce crime. Our co-investment program with Telstra will also see the delivery of a new mobile service to Canteen Creek, another election commitment which is on track for delivery this year. I will now turn to the Department of Lands, Planning and Environment with regards to the 2025-26 budget. And Mr Deputy Speaker, the dire financial state we inherited from the Labor government meant that we have to focus on improving the Territory's bottom line and getting back to basics. This government is focused on rebuilding our economy and increasing private investment. This means helping projects get off the ground through faster, robust decision-making, supporting the release of land and managing key threats to our environment, such as weeds. Mr Deputy Speaker, our regulatory regime in the Northern Territory has undergone significant reform and is one of the best regimes in the country. Budget 2025-26 supports the onshore gas industry through the allocation of over $2 million in funding for the Petroleum Unit to deliver timely assessment and approvals processes and to ensure the onshore gas industry is well regulated to meet community expectations. The gas industry is essential to delivering energy security and economic prosperity for Territorians now and into the future. We've been very open about our vision, Mr Deputy Speaker, for a stronger, more prosperous Northern Territory, with the Beetaloo's enormous potential playing a big role in that vision. $2 million per year ongoing has been allocated to the Beetaloo Regional Monitoring Program. This program will track and report on biophysical impacts associated with the development of the onshore gas industry in the Beetaloo region. Mr Deputy Speaker, this is an essential element of ongoing regulation of the industry, ensuring that all risks are correctly evaluated, mitigation measures are adequate, and that any corrective actions to manage unforeseen impacts is taken promptly. This monitoring will build on the baseline data collected through the Beetaloo Strategic Regional Environmental and Baseline Assessment, completed in 2023, more commonly known as the 𝙍𝙀𝙇𝙀𝙑, Mr Deputy Speaker. Rather than continuing to increase the department's output appropriation to meet the expected increase in development activity, we're applying a different, more effective approach by digging deeper and looking at where efficiencies can be applied. The department has already made a great number of regulatory improvements to assessment and approval processes, particularly in the mining and petroleum operations, and has identified further changes to continue to streamline where possible. Mr Deputy Speaker, this approach delivers dual benefits to the Territory's bottom line. Firstly, by improving approvals timeframes for proponents so they can get in the ground and progress their developments, and in turn generate revenue to the Territory. And by reducing the reliance on increased output appropriation, by sticking to the basics and fixing the fundamentals that Labor broke, we are making it easier to do business here in the Territory. This government made a commitment to tackle the spread of gamba grass in the top end and manage buffel grass in Central Australia. And Budget 2025 provides $2.25 million to the management of both. Of this amount, $1.5 million will go towards the management of weeds and fire on Crown lands, and $750,000 to the strategic weed management. On the topic of weeds, Mr Deputy Speaker, just yesterday I was introduced to two very talented employees who are visiting the Northern Territory to assist in the department's efforts to eradicate Parthenium weed. Parthenium weed is regarded as one of the worst weeds in Australia due to its invasiveness potential for spread and environmental and economic impacts. It is toxic to humans and animals and would have a serious impact on the pastoral industry should it ever spread, Mr Deputy Speaker. These employees, Connor and Dash, two highly trained and very cute English Springer Spaniels from New South Wales, are visiting the Northern Territory to assist the weed management branch in their efforts to ensure the weed has been eradicated in this particular area, quite literally sniffing out to see if there are any weeds left in a certain area, Mr Deputy Speaker. And I want to thank Steve, the handler, as well as Shelley and Jenny from the Range Division for the opportunity to meet with those very talented Springer Spaniels yesterday, and I wish them all the best with their work. Budget 2025-26 continues the delivery of Commonwealth funding of $4.1 million over 2 years under the Priority Places Initiative towards the Macdonald Ranges Threat Abatement Scheme. I was very fortunate to join the department's Flora and Fauna Division last week as they deployed 𝙍𝙀𝙇𝙀𝙑 feral cat grooming traps in the Macdonald Ranges to target feral cats. Feral cats predate on threatened species in the area, such as the central rock rat, among many others. It was fantastic, Mr Deputy Speaker, to see the technology up close and hear from the experts in the department as they got to work. And once again, I want to thank Peter from the department for his continued work in this area. A very passionate person, and it's wonderful to see that through the eradication of feral animals, we're able to protect our natural environment and ensure that the central rock rat, along with other common species throughout the Macdonald Ranges, are protected. Through my time as the Minister for Lands, Planning and Environment, I've come to understand and appreciate that enabling infrastructure is a key driver of economic development, Mr Deputy Speaker. And by delivering on this, we are creating livable cities for our population to grow and be sustainable, as well as more housing. The department has secured funding to subdivide the Sienna Village in my hometown of Alice Springs. And this project will create 3 new strategically located lots, and in doing so, unlock them for potential tourist commercial development by the private industry. My department was also instrumental in coordinating and assisting in the approval by the Commonwealth for the development of St Mary's in Alice Springs. $14 million, Mr Deputy Speaker, straight to the Territory through the Housing Support Program Priority Work Stream, which will allow much-needed subdivision and accommodation options to be provided to the Alice Springs community. I look forward to working with the Minister for Housing to ensure that this vital rollout can occur. Affordable, safe housing, Mr Deputy Speaker, is vital to the community, safety and well-being. And I once again want to thank, we have some incredibly hard-working individuals right across our department, and I'd like to thank Doug from the Department of Lands and Planning for getting the Northern Territory Government's proposal up, and for certainly doing a lot of work since we've come to government in looking at how things can be done differently. That is why we are advocating for the Northern Territory and unlocking new opportunities for housing developments right across the Territory, Mr Deputy Speaker. And this government doesn't forget about our regions, doesn't forget about Central Australia. This government will always push for better outcomes and safer communities for all Territorians, from Central Australia right the way up through Tennant Creek, Katherine to the top end. Through this same program and advocacy by the department, the Commonwealth also has committed $11 million to upgrade existing infrastructure and support the Farrer West development, which could see around 300 homes built over the coming years. Residential land release negotiations are constantly progressing, with more land release means more opportunities for investment and development here in the Northern Territory. The Holtz Land Development is releasing land in the Holtz development area through a development agreement with the government. The Part A enabling works are due to be finalised this year, meaning builders will soon be able to start constructing homes very soon. Lots in Stage 1 went on sale earlier this year, and the demand was instant, Mr Deputy Speaker, with most lots already sold, mostly the locals, and Stage 2 lots already on the market. What this tells me, Mr Deputy Speaker, is that Territorians are putting down roots here and building trust in their hometown once again. And right now is the perfect time to get into your first new home with our Homegrown Territory Grant Scheme, delivering real outcomes on the ground right across the Northern Territory. $50,000 for first home builders, with home builds increasing from historic lows under the former Labor government to now increasing, Mr Deputy Speaker. Our government's support for our building industry and getting people in their first home so they set down roots is a key policy that is providing real outcomes here in the NT. These are just more examples of this government getting on with the job and doing what it takes to improve our lifestyle and rebuilding the economy. Mr Deputy Speaker, this is a budget that restores confidence, rebuilds the economy and delivers action where it is needed most. It's a budget that doesn't just paper over the cracks, it addresses the structural failings we inherited and fixes the fundamentals so the Territory can grow safely and sustainably. Whether it's stronger digital infrastructure, faster development approvals, more mobile coverage for remote communities, or new housing subdivisions in Alice Springs and Darwin, our government is delivering. We're doing the hard work, we're making responsible decisions, and we're backing Territorians every step of the way. This government doesn't make empty announcements. We get on with the job of delivering. We're rebuilding what was broken, restoring what was neglected, and investing in the future that Territorians deserve. We know Territorians have endured tough times in recent years, Mr Deputy Speaker, but this government is working hard every day to ensure that the future under a CLP for 𝙍𝙀𝙇𝙀𝙍𝙍 government is something that we can all look forward to. I commend the bill to the House, Mr Speaker.
Thank you, Minister, and pass on our best to Connor and Ash.